So welcome dear students to this chapter 9 of your book part B, which is financial management, and let me quickly take you to the important points directly from the NCERT from this chapter. As you see students, financial management, it is composed of two words. One is finance, the other is management, and we have gone through already all the process of management. It nothing but including all the functions of it as POS DC. So whenever this POS DC, planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, are applied to control or manage the funds, the concept that is popularly called the lifeblood of any organization, whenever it is applied in the management of finance of a particular organization, this concept of financial management comes into the picture. Now let us quickly have a look on what are the aspects that finance manager needs to be concerned about in an organization. So this basically, the concept of financial management requires optimal procurement of available finances from different sources. They have to be identified first and then compared, of course, in terms of the costs and risks associated with it, and it is a duty, prime responsibility of any finance manager to reduce the cost of procurement of such finances and also keep the risks under control to effectively and efficiently deploy such funds that have been received, so as to make sure that there are no funds that are kept idle, and neither there are some finance that are more in number, that are more than enough, because keeping the funds idle or even the scarcity of it, both are dangerous situation. Neither the finance should be low, neither it should be more. It should be in optimal position at all the time, and it is a prime responsibility of the finance manager to ensure that the deployment of funds have been done properly, so as it can recover the cost that are associated with the financing. So the cost have to be less, and return from that investments, whatever we do for deploying the funds in different opportunities available in front of the firm, so that return should be more from those prospects. So these all things have to be considered. Apart from this students, it is also told that size and composition of fixed assets have to be maintained properly in an organization. Similarly, the current assets and its breakup into cash and inventory and receivables also need to be checked up from time to time. It is also one of the responsibilities to ensure long term and short term, both sorts of finance in the process of this management, and the profit and loss position of the entity also needs to be taken care of. So now let us come on to the main objectives of finance management, and a very clear line from NCERT students. It is well written that primary aim of finance management is to maximize the shareholders' wealth. This is the main and ultimate aim of this concept, where shareholders' wealth in terms of EPS, earning per share, needs to be maximized at any cost, because after all, shareholders are the backbone of the company who provide them with necessary finance, which is also considered as the lifeblood for any organization. Now let me tell you students, in financing decisions, financial decisions are basically three kinds of decisions, where you can remember with an acronym as FID. All these financial decisions include the three decisions as financing, then investment, and yet another as dividend decisions. So these three decisions form an inherent part of financial decisions as it has been talked about, where you need to see first of all that from which source the finance will be procured. It can be either through debt financing or through equity financing. We will be discussing about this in detail in the coming topics. And secondly, once the finance has been procured from the appropriate source, it is the duty of the finance manager to park those funds deploy the funds in appropriate opportunities so as to give the maximum returns. So this is covered under the second decision called investing decision. And finally, whatever returns are obtained from deployment of finance, that those returns have to be ultimately distributed to the shareholders who have finally put in their money as an investment in the business. So that dividend decision leads to the distribution of dividends to the shareholders who have put in their money into the business. So these three decisions form the main part of financial decisions, about which the various factors that affect these decisions we will be discussing in the upcoming segments. Thank you.